What's going on, guys? Yeah, I know, I've been gone for a while, but check it out. I think I got something that'll make it up to you. How about that? Now, I know you hear that, and if you don't, you should probably get a hearing aid. But check this out. If you can't hear, maybe you can see a little bit better. Keep you in suspense for a second. Oh, wait. Oh. What is this? What is this? Yeah. I'd like to introduce you to the newest addition to my collection, my 282 Mth New York Central Mikado. Oh boy. Oh yeah. Just observe, just admire for a moment as it shuts down. Yeah, I know. It's that freaking cool. Yeah, it is that freaking cool. I know. So, first off, I know this is a review, but let's just take a time out for a minute. Where have I been? College quarter, winter quarter was a pain in the butt. Got through with it on spring break right now. Actually, the last 2 days of my spring break, but that's besides the point. I'm back for my last 2 days to give you guys, a little something. Being so patient, I know I've been gone. There's a lot of stuff I haven't told you about that went on a couple months ago. We had a train show. We had there was an open house, or not an open house. There was a estate sale that I went to. Picked up a whole bunch of train stuff, and I'll show you guys that in another video. And the layout's changed. I don't think I showed you guys that either. But right now, we're just focusing on the review of this beautiful locomotive. I mean, my goodness, this has got to be one of my favorites in my collection right now. I want to say this. This is the only engine that I actually have. I have a second road name of. In other words, I don't have engines with the same road names. I have Norfolk and Western, Southern Pacific, Santa Fe, all that. Okay, let me rephrase. As far as steam locomotives are concerned, all my diesel locomotives are either Santa Fe or BNSF. This 282 Mikado, as well as my Hudson, my 464 Hudson, they're both New York Central, and I'm proud to own both of these. Okay, so for anyone who's been a subscriber to me for a long time, I'm a big fan, huge fan of the Mth Ho locomotives. A lot of people have problems with them. That's not my problem. I'm a big fan of Mth. I love Mth engines. This sucker is no exception to that rule. By the way, if you notice this beauty's a little bit weathered, get into that in a moment too. So I bring that up. I don't know if the camera will be able to pick it up, but yeah, you can see she's slightly weathered. Honestly, this is one of the engines that had been on my list for a long time. I had been looking at it. There are several different YouTubers that have had this locomotive. Some of them are really good friends of mine. For instance, my good friend Alegna, I want to give his full username, Alegna1998. Yep, wait, is that an 8? Yep, that's an 8. Alegna1998. Actually, I was 3 that year. No, he had a Mikado weathered on his channel. I'm like, wow, that looks really nice. I gotta give me one of those. So I did. I honestly had been looking at it for a while. It was between this one or the Broadway limited version, and this one just appealed to me way more. And since I found out Mth is no longer producing the big boy, this is my next best thing. So anyway, on to the actual review. As you can see here, we got a 282 Mikado. I'm not going to get too much into the detail because you really can't see it on this camera. Doing my best for you guys, give me a break. But it's got, okay, I'll talk about the detail a little bit. It's freaking cool, okay? It's got all the separately applied detail here. Got, little railings and pipes and tubes and pistons and coal. Real coal, by the way, real coal load. Mth always puts a real coal load in their steam locomotives unless they're oil burners. I'll say this, the knuckle was a pain in the butt to get out. I swear to God, it took me about 2 hours to put the rear coupler on. Something was wrong with the screw hole. I had to put it in sideways. Then like when I was halfway and I had to straighten it out and then screw it all the way down. And it took me 2 hours just to get it right, just get it in the hole right. That's the one thing I don't like about MTH products. They don't come with the couplers on the engines already, and I hate that. You got to put them on yourself. But you know, for what you're getting out of it, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's a little bit of work. That instance just happened to be a really big pain in the butt. But hey, what are you gonna do? The day I got it about a month, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks to a month. We were actually getting the plumbing in our house fixed, and the package came in the mail that day. Came home from school, got all the homework done, ran down, had to, after spending 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours trying to get the knuckle on, went into the basement. The guy who was doing our plumbing that day, we had a plumber coming because we were having problems with our plumbing system. He came in, and he's like, "Oh, so you the modeler?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the modeler." He's like, "Yeah, I used to do some myself." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Just talking to him a little bit. I'm like, "That's cool." So, he was in this room here. He was over there on the other side. I was right here, actually in this very spot. I'm just firing it up and everything. So, I'm doing press function. Actually, let me go ahead and do this. Might as well go ahead and do it now. Give you guys a little bit of a show. If you press function 13, you get the extended startup sequence.
Let's get her steam. We got a schedule to keep.
I just love that. It's so cool. Anyway, so I did that, and it's firing up and everything, and he's just like, "Whoa!" He's like, "That's really cool." I'm running it back and forth, blowing the whistle and stuff, and he's just standing there looking at it. He's like, "Wow!" Then the smoke starts coming out. He's like, "So he was looking at it. I was programming the thing, right? I was trying to program the address." He's like, "So what are you doing right there?" I said, "Oh, I'm just programming the engine number." He's like, "Programming?" He's like, "What is that, a computer?" I said, "Kinda." So I explained to him what DCC is and everything. And he's just flabbergasted. He's like, "Wow, he came back up talking to my grandpa. He's like, "That's way better than any of the stuff that I had when I was into the whole modeling business." So now I told him about the club and everything. But hey, it was really interesting. It's really interesting when you talk to a lot of these older guys who've been out of the hobby for a while, and you show them something like this, and they're like, "Whoa, when did this happen?" With sound, you have what? How many different types of whistles in your engine? You can choose what kind of whistle you want. You can choose the bell rate. Oh my God! And I start freaking out. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm awesome, aren't I? But no. But other than that, you guys, really awesome training. How it got weathered? Different story. Check that out. My man Steven. Okay, he's got a YouTube channel. I've set his YouTube channel in a previous video. See if I can't put a link in the description or something. Anyway, he weathered this bad boy for me, and he did an awesome job. What we did was he had brought down all his different weathering powders, and I'm like, you think we might be able to weather my steam? Look, he was like, "Yeah, man, sure, let's do it." He was all excited. He was more excited than I was. He said, "Okay, well, let's go online and let's see what kind of weathering job you might want." So we go on his phone and everything. We're looking at all sorts of Mikados. We see an MTH Mikado, exact same one as this. And he's like, I'm like, "I like that." He's like, "Really?" He's like, I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, you know what? Let's go ahead. We'll go and weather the bad boy up." He started messing around with the wheels, coming all over the boiler and everything, just touching it up. Went on the tender card, little bit of dab right there, worked his way up. I'm like, wow. Sprayed it down, put it under the heat lamp for a minute, not too close because we don't want to melt anything. But mat it dry, put it on the track, and it was like, wow, night and day. I swear to God. Anyway, back onto the review. This engine, okay, I have another MTH steam locomotive. I have the GS4, the 484 Southern Pacific Daylight. That's an awesome engine as well. This one is that one's great for passenger. This one is perfect if you have like freight, you want to do some switching in the yard. Perfect train to do that with. Okay, so I'm just gonna run you through some of the features. All right. One thing that you probably can't see, right, and I'll have to show you on another video, but it's got these rear marker lights and they light up red, and I just love it. Love the color. Let's see if I can pull up a little bit and see them maybe. Okay, you're not gonna be able to see them, I don't think. Can you? Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Anyway, yeah, this is actually the bad side. I should have flipped it around, but anyway, it's got these red marker lights on the back of the tender, and they just look freaking cool in the dark. Okay, the cab. What's different about this one than my other ones? The cab light. It's positioned in a way to where it'll make the pressure gauges light up as well as the entire cab, and it's just got this nice little glow to it, and I love it. It looks like really cozy in there. One thing I wish MTH would do, I wish they'd have a glowing firebox. I know Bachmann has done that with a couple of their locomotives. MTH should really do that, but not going to ding them too much for points on that because they still got the whole smoke unit thing. Now I want to show you the smoke unit on this bad boy, right? It actually operates better than my GS4, and if I can just get it going, I don't know, I haven't put any smoke fluid in it for a while. I'll just go ahead and turn it on, get it warmed up. But the smoke is so realistic on this model, it just shoots from the stack. I mean, when it's just idling there, it looks absolutely, there it goes. It looks absolutely amazing. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that or not. Okay, maybe, but yeah, there you go, you can see it. Yep. It just shoots from the top. This looks so freaking cool. And when it puffs, okay, check this out. Let's go in reverse that way. I mean, there's these perfect little wisps of smoke, and when I did that for the first time, it was just the coolest thing. But I love it when it idles and it just shoots out the stack like that. Really cool. Love that. I honestly think this is one of the best smoke units that I've seen on an MTH model. I think it smokes, for this kind of engine, I think it smokes perfect. The whistle, you guys know, I'm a huge fan of my steam locomotives, and I'm very meticulous. They gotta be right. When it comes to sounds, the sounds have to be perfect. And may I say that this engine right here, I can't even describe to you how awesome the whistle is. Just listen to this. The bell complements it well. Gotta have a nice bell to go with your steam locomotive. If it doesn't have a nice bell, it ain't gonna work right. Wrong way. Now here's the other thing, okay? I'm gonna turn the smoke off, because I'm going to get high here in a minute. Okay, so on the MTH models, they have this feature only available on the DCS system where you can quill the whistle. However, if you go to function 12, unless you have the GS4 because it has an air horn as well as the whistle, you can there's actually a feature that will quill the whistle for you. It'll be your grade crossing sound. I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys real quick. I love that. That did it for me. Okay, when I was at the club, when I played around with this thing, and everybody heard that quillable whistle, people's heads will turn. Okay, I'm so excited for when we go to a show and I'll be able to run this train, and people will be able to see it because it stands out. It really does. It's a smaller engine, yes, but it will stand out among the crowd. Now, I did want to do a comparison video between this one and the Broadway Limited version because another club member, Bill, he does have a Broadway Limited Mikado. In my personal opinion, now this is just my opinion, MTH makes the better Mikado. I know that it's literally twice the price. You could buy two Broadway Limited Mikados for the price of this MTH. However, I wouldn't suggest it. The MTH Mikado, in my opinion, is just all around better. It pulls more. Okay, that's number one. It pulls more. The sounds are better. The overall bell is better. The whistle is definitely better. The chuffing sounds to me sound better. But the chuffing, you can go. It doesn't really matter. I mean, the chuffing on the other one, that's nice too. But I prefer the chuffing on this one. It's just a lot more clear. It's deeper. It's got a nice, deep, bassy sound, and I love that. And wait a minute. The other thing that just does it for me, it has these marker lights in the back that you can't see. I'll show them in another video. But these red marker lights that just make it, I'm just telling you, that small little detail just makes it pop, okay? And the illuminated cab, I don't believe the Broadway Limited version has that either. The pressure gauges light up, cab lights up, and it just looks freaking cool. Okay, this is a light Mikado. This is not a heavy Mikado. This is actually a light Mikado. And the way you tell is by the boiler, the difference in the boiler. The boiler's not as fat as in the heavy Mikado. But I'm just letting you guys know. you would not regret buying the MTH version. And it has a smoke unit, and the smoke generator in it is absolutely amazing. It's flawless. Okay, you put 10. I normally put 8 drops in, but for this one, I decided to put 10. I put 10 drops in this bad boy, and it was just some of the most realistic smoke I've ever seen in a HO model. Broadway Limited does a nice job too. Their Mikado doesn't actually smoke, but the MTH model does. There might be a Broadway Limited Mikado that does, but I know Bill, he bought the Paragon 2 version, and his doesn't smoke. What are you gonna do? But this bad boy right here, it's a beauty. The grade crossing whistle is amazing. The bell is amazing. I mean, I love backing down the freight cars, coupling to them, you know, just blowing a couple short toots, you know, just real quick, like that. It just adds so much more. You know, you'll do that. And let's see if I can do this right. You know, and you just pull away, and everyone just has their jaw just wide open. MTH locomotives are always a showstopper. Everybody's gotta sit back and watch when you got an MTH locomotive. And the fact that it's weathered, thank you, Steven, you're awesome, man. The fact that it's weathered just makes this engine that much cooler. I mean, it really. And when I first looked at it, the contrast between the dull colors on the locomotive with the bright yellow headlight, it just makes it pop even more. I just love how the headlight's so bright, but everything else is so dull back here, you know. Finally, the other thing I like to say, because I'm a big fan of steam locomotives, the idling sounds do make a difference to me too. This locomotive has amazing idling sounds. I mean, it just you can just sit down and listen to it for hours. It's just so cool. Okay, wait, I just remembered this. One more thing I want to show you. I know this video is running long. I'm sorry, but I'm just so excited to show you guys this. All right. It's got freight announcements, not passenger announcements, because it's not a passenger unit, obviously. But check this out. I just thought this was so cool. So, you know, you'll be running your train, that bell comes on, blah, 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 you stop, you know. Just running.
What do you say to take the siding at Willis and wait for the superior train? The switch is already aligned for us.
So it runs through this whole...
walk around while you give the run by the once-over.
It runs through this whole scenario.
It take too long. I can see the headlight off in the distance.
It's like a little story, you know. Okay, I gotta do this. This is what did it for me.
See anything out of the ordinary? Nope, everything looks good. As soon as Jack sets the switch, we can get moving. This could take a while. That switch off is jammed. I thought the track gang fixed that last week. They did, but I think it's been acting up again. There's our signal.
And you pull away. And you know, that little crew talk right there, it just adds so much more feel to the overall look of the engine. I just love it. And I love the idea that they just put in with like another train passing by. That was a really nice touch. I mean, if you've got an engine without sound, I know it's not that long of a scene, but you could just have that sucker passing by. If you're at a show or something, have an engine without sound, go by, you know, try to match up the speed with the sound that's, you know, coming from this engine. It would look cool. Just recreate that scenario. It gives you something fun to play with, and that's what I like. There's MTH stepped outside of the box just with that. I mean, they got a little dog barking in the background like they got a dog on the train with them. That's cool. It adds to the feel of the locomotive. Anyway, time to wrap the review up. What do I think about the train? If you don't know by now, you're probably crazy. This train is amazing. I would recommend it for anybody. If you're a steam era guy, you gotta have them. You gotta have a Mikado. Every railroad had a Mikado. Every major railroad had a Mikado. And they come in all sorts of different road names. Mine is just so I'm going to be New York Central. I would have preferred Union Pacific, but they didn't have a Union Pacific on eBay. But I had a New York Central Hudson, so hey, that's a plus, you know. We got Union Pacific, New York Central, CNO. That's the one Legna has. He has a CNO. But at any rate, you guys, it's just an awesome train. Awesome train. I'm really enjoying it. So, yeah, Steam Era guy, buy it. If you have the Broadway Limited version, I suggest go ahead and picking this one up. Do it anyway, because it's just that cool. It really is. And if you're not really worried about changing CVs or anything like that, this engine will be perfect for you. And when you weather it up, it looks even better, and it just feels like you got a brand new engine. So, anyway, guys, this is the Kid. I got a bunch more videos to make for you tonight. See how many I can get up. If you would like, I need to make a few more shout-out videos too. So for the guys that I mentioned in this video, I'll probably put their names in a link in another video. Because I've been meaning to do that for a while, and I've been getting some questions about some other items too. So anyway, I've been rambling on for long enough. Awesome engine. You'll see videos of this. Now that I found my iPod camera, I'll be running this one at the club probably here next week. So at any rate, Railroad Kid 1937 signing off, saying peace, God bless, thanks for watching, and this train is just so freaking cool. I love that. See you guys.